Amazing.
Well, you didn't have this in Kentucky every day?
Yeah, no, not me.
Well, that was the other side of that.
There you go.
Well, y'all have, I guess, wrapped up on the farm. Can you kind of assess where your guys are at now after working out there?
Well, we've had more good days than bad days. Really trying to preach consistency and get better every day. I thought we took a step back first part of practice today in terms of effort and intensity, but the guys are trying, getting a little bit better, and that's all we ask. Trying to get a little bit better every day, and fundamentally, we just got to continue to improve.
I know it can be a tough time out there for some of the younger guys. How'd you see some of them handle it?
Well, I got two. Chris Jones is he's still kind of stuck in high school mode at times. We've got to get him to understand the speed of the game here and what's required and the amount of intensity and the amount of effort he's got to play with. But he's got some talent, so we just got to keep working with him every day and try to get him to play a little bit faster and improve on some technique things.
How was Trent with that? The young guys, Trent Simpson, coming off last year's knee injury. How's he?
Trent's been really surprised. He's been better. He's moving around better than I thought he would. He's probably a little bit ahead of Chris just from technique and fundamental-wise, but I like him. I like what I've seen him. I think he's got a chance to develop into a pretty good player.
How do you get Chris to transition from high school mode to, you said, college?
Well, we just got to keep pushing him. He's got guys around him that's trying to get him going, and I think peer pressure is probably the best thing. Guys are talking to him, say, hey, man, when we line up on the 31st, the bullets are going to be flying for real, and you got to line up and play. So, you never really know until you get in there, and then you see him adjust, see guys adjust to the speed of the game. We can preach it and talk about it all day long, but until it happens, they really don't have a concept of it. He thinks he's playing fast, but he really doesn't have a concept till the game starts.
How have Jones and Simpson helped guys like A.J. and Ryan and all the other guys, the backup at ends and places like that?
Who'd you say?
Ryan Brown, A.J. Jefferson.
Doing good. I talk to them older guys about coaching them younger guys all the time. And Nico, he's been out with his thumb. He's over there coaching them up. Ryan Brown's done that. A.J. hadn't played any ball, so A.J., he can do some coaching, but I don't know if I want him coaching up a whole lot, He's still learning himself, but he's improving. Ryan Brown, Preston's been coaching them guys up, so I'm trying to get them older guys to take a little bit more ownership in this thing.
Can you put into words kind of how difficult or how interesting it might be to coach Quay and Nick compared to everybody else you have?
Well, it depends on the day, to be quite honest. They come out there and their mind's right. They have pretty good days. Today was a better day for Quay. Both of those guys are talented, but right now they just don't have a clue in terms of effort and consistency.
Talk about Nelson Adams. I've heard some players say they've been a little bit surprised. Not that he's dominating or anything, but just how he's hanging in there and trying to learn every day.
Well, Nelson, I made a comment to him, the best ability is availability. Nelson's been there every single day, from spring to fall. And if you come out there and work hard, you can't help but get better. And that's what he's done. He's trying. He asks questions. He says, Coach, I'm going to work on this today. I'm going to get better at this. And Nelson's kind of been a hard hat guy. He just shows up and works every day, and it's a lot to be said for that. All of a sudden you develop a little bit more trust in the guy because he's going to be there, he's going to battle. He goes when he's hurt, but he's gotten better. He's still a long way from a finished product, but he's getting better.
The few months you've had now to coach Danico, just what's really stood out to you about him, just his tools and his effort?
Well, he's a pretty good athlete. He works hard. I think he wants to be good. There's a lot to be said for that. He's hungry to learn. He's coachable. He hangs on everything you say everything you tell him. And he understands this is his last go-round. This is it for him. And it's probably a little bit more, as most seniors, always a little bit more sense of urgency. Yeah. And you try to convey that to the younger guys. But I remember when in my senior year, all of a sudden it's a little bit different because you realize this is the last time he's had his last two-a-day. It'd be the last time he plays with this group. So he's coming along. We just got to get him back now and get him going again next week.
I know his all-around game is something that he tried to develop, and it looked like it started coming around late last season. Do you see him more as a guy who can equally defend the run and the pass?
He should be able to. He's got talent, he's got length, he's strong enough. I talk to him all the time about, you got to be great in the run and the passing game. Everybody likes rushing the passer, but if you don't stop him on first and second down, you're not rushing the quarterback. So he understands that. He's working at it. He's really been a surprise in the run game, being honest with you, because he plays so hard and his technique's really getting better. And I think he's adjusting to it. Coming from East to the SEC, it's always an adjustment. Being a little bit older guy, he understands it, and he's adjusting a whole lot better.
Caleb and PJ had a couple little setbacks early in camp. How have they come along last week or so?
Caleb's been out there. PJ will get in a little bit. Got to get PJ back and get him healthy. Caleb, the more he plays inside, the better he gets. And I'm pleased with where he is. I'm pleased with his progress. Everything he does has been good. We just got to get him out there and get some consistent reps.
Still concerned about your inside depth at
Oh yeah,
tackle?
oh yeah, yeah. I feel we got some bodies, and we just got to kind of mix and match, and hopefully we stay relatively healthy. Probably take 4 or 5 guys and just go from there. We got to get PJ healthy, got to get Caleb healthy, and then those young guys have been coming along. Jordan Washington's taking a step forward, which is good for him. We need him to. We talked about Nelson. Nelson, he just keeps getting better, and Jordan Quay's had some good days. So I feel good about it. I think we'll come up with a pretty good combination, and hopefully we just, like I say, keep getting better.
From him and what you've seen at fall camp, do you think he needs to lose a little bit of weight?
Well, I've talked to him about it. I really am not concerned as long as he can move and move fast, and he's a little bit different in terms of athletic ability. So, we monitor that. I'm asking him all the time, and the big thing I ask him, I say, how you feel? If he feels he can handle it, fine. Obviously, we don't want him to gain too much too quick. Matt Bayless and his staff do a great job with them, so we just kind of play it by ear and see where he is. He's still hovering around 300 pounds, which right now I think is pretty good, but you can tell he's still getting used to it. There's no question about that, but he'll be fine.
Do you think he's lost a little bit of quickness based upon that?
I don't know.
Based
I
on
mean,
what you saw?
I never did get a chance to see him live, so I don't have a point of reference for that, but he does he's still pretty quick for a 300-pound man.
How have you seen the pass rush progress? Obviously, last year 19 sacks. That number wants to boost up this year. How have you seen that progress during camp?
Well, we've done some things, try to teach and make sure guys understand it's not all about one guy. It's 4 guys. We're in our base front. 4 guys got to work together to rush the quarterback. Sometimes you get caught up in it's me rushing, but it's got to be a concerted effort. Everybody's got to be working together, and we've talked about that. I've seen guys work on technique, get a little bit better, but we still got a long ways to go. And we'll see how that comes.
You've been doing this for over 20 years, David. Just do you feel home here again in Mississippi?
Yeah, it's good to be back. I mean, I've had more people tell me, welcome back home. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, obviously it's good. It's not home for me, but it feels like home. And obviously people think of me as being a hometown guy, so that's a good thing.
Do you ever feel home as a coach?
Do you ever feel home as a coach?
Do you feel like you're ever at home?
I don't know. This is, out of all the places, this has probably been one of the most comfortable spots for me and my family. So as much to home as you can get without being actually at home, I guess is probably the best way of putting it.
Talk about Nick and the consistency and effort. How else have you seen him progress over the summer and in the fall?
Well, he's in better shape. There's no question he's moving better. He's getting better reps, putting better reps on top of better reps. And that's what we've talked to him about, and that's what he's got to do. He's a big man, he's a powerful man, and he's got to learn it's all about technique now. It's not just I can overpower somebody because I'm bigger and stronger than you are. And that's what he's been doing about the last 2 weeks now, which I've been pleased with him. And I'm always talking to him, say, hey, man, just get another good rep. He's running better, and he is in better condition. He had a great summer, according to Coach Bayless and those guys, and you can tell it now here on the field now practicing.
A.J. Jefferson.
A.J. Jefferson.
Well, A.J., how was life on the farm the last couple of weeks, man?
It was pretty good. It was intense, got out there. The weather was hot. It was good. Got a chance to go out there, defense, raise a little mayhem. So it was pretty good.
What's the progression like, say, from week 1 to week 2 and now going into week 3?
I think we just taking everything a step at a time. I mean, everybody's getting better, so it's going pretty good.
So about for you getting ready to contribute on the field this year, what's that like for you to maybe have this opportunity?
I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. I'm taking my time with the opportunity, trying to brace myself. When my number's being called, I'm trying to make sure I'm ready.
As a whole, counting ends and tackles, that defensive line's got a ton of competition with a lot of guys trying to get reps. I mean, what's that like in a daily practice setting with all those reps people trying to get?
I mean, it just makes us better. I mean, we feed off of each other, so I mean, I think it's a great thing, having somebody that's better than you, pushing you. So it's all about competition.
You had a good spring, and Coach Turner has some good things to say to you about coming to work every day. How much confidence or momentum were you able to carry that over to fall camp?
I think a lot. I mean, I think they came with a lot of experience too, like being here last year, getting a chance to learn all the plays and stuff like that. Then the older guys, they helped me out a lot. So, I mean, they kind of gave me an edge.
Have you gotten comfortable with Coach Turner?
Yeah, I think I have. Coach Turner, he's a real good coach.
Who's kind of stood out on the D-line in your opinion?
Out of the whole D-line?
Yeah.
Nelson Adams.
Yeah, somebody was saying that he's really shown some improvement.
Yeah, he really has. He's stepping up. He's stepping up big time. Like, I mean, as far as his technique and stuff like that, I mean, he's really pushing to be good.
In the spring, Coach Turner said that he needed Nico and Preston to step up and be leaders and to show the younger guys. Being a younger guy, have you seen that from them being more vocal?
Yeah, I really have. I mean, on and off the field. Because, I mean, it was times in the spring I got discouraged sometimes that Nico coming age. So, he kind of helped me out on a lot of things. So I think him and Preston both done a good job at that.
Kind of look at these new guys coming in like Chris Jones and look at where they are now compared to where you were at that point. You're like, man, does it kind of show you how far you've come even in a year's time? Just technique and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, yeah, it has.
Chris, I know he says, David said his technique is something that he's still got to work on.
Yeah, he got to work on technique, but he's a freak, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he got a huge bright side, a huge bright side.
Yeah.
When you look at maybe that second line, and everyone wants to talk about Chris or Quay or Nick James. I mean, you're right there in it too. I mean, what can people maybe expect from you? Because everyone wants to talk about those three, but I mean, you're right there as well.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be I'm probably a technician. Coach gonna put me in the game. He's not gonna have to worry about me being where I'm supposed to be. So, I mean, I'm gonna go hard.
On that note, though, how different personality-wise is Nick and Quay compared to the rest of the other guys in that position?
I mean, Nick and Quay, they the juice guys. I mean, Nick come out there practice, he going, he screaming, everybody gets to laughing, and he gets everybody going. So, both of them. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
And just what Coach Turner's kind of been preaching with you.
Really, he been preaching that whole line, basically using better hands, because it's gonna be technique. Really, that's gonna all be about technique here. That's how we're gonna win our games. How anybody's gonna get good. Everybody in the league strong, big and fast. What separates each other is what separates individuals who have the best fundamental technique.
Curtis, what have you seen from the younger guys? I know the farm can be a tough place for those fellas.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
I mean, I don't think you can really do is come out and grind and get better every day. And they've been coming along doing that. Nelson, Nelson, AJ, Torrey, all those young guys, they've been really, Jordan, everybody been making that step forward to come out, have a better season.
Yeah, have you had to just pick any of those guys up at some point and just keep them encouraged?
Jordan, he had a little minute when he was going out, getting down, but he came along, he stepped up, he turned around, and he just him and Ashley, Nelson, especially AJ, he had a little thump to him.
Curtis, Coach Turner has said, I need more out of you this year. He said that publicly. Has he had that conversation with you, and has he made you go to another level this fall?
Yes, I have. I mean, I've been basically what come down to using my technique. And me being big and strong, like I said, I just can't muscle my way. So he wanted me to get, only way I'm going to get more productive is using better fundamentals. And that's why I've been focused on staying low, using my hand, punching them, getting off blocks, shedding. That's the type of thing.
How long did it take for that to settle in? Because, I mean, you're a guy just used to having your way in high school.
I've been here, 4 years now? And it's the last, I'd say year. This last year where I've been really just putting everything together.
Do you feel like that's kind of where Nick and Quay are right now, where they were physically dominant in high school and could get away with that, and now they're having to learn how to do it the way you're doing it now?
Yeah, Quay learned a little bit faster than Nick, but Nick's coming along as well.
David talked about with some guys being banged up on the interior, a little bit of concern about the depth. You just kind of put it on yourself to kind of help with that and kind of ease any losses.
I mean, honestly, I just had to go, just grind, just work, come every day, get better. Because my teammates had to go through everything, and the only way I can do was hit the team was to just keep going myself.
Talking to the coaches in spring, they said they'd really like to get a rotation going with maybe even though they're not little guys, but with PJ and Caleb as sort of the quick tackles, and yourself and Quay and others as the big tackles, and just really play with offenses like that.
Oh, I can see that just myself, because those guys, they are the more explosive guys out the ball, just as far as coming speed. But I'm more of a power guy. I can sit down and throw guys, that's one more at the run type guy. They more the pass type guy. I got put together. Make, you know what I'm saying? Make a quick D-line.
That really, you see the rotation taking shape now this preseason.
It has to a point. Like not of course having camp little guys banged up, so we won't be able to see that full rotation until a week to next week.
You talked about hands earlier. I mean, did you ever figure that the most important part of the defensive lineman wasn't his strength or size, but it was your hands?
I wouldn't have thought that, but it goes back for us Wilson. He was saying great D linemen have great eyes and great hands. So that's bad eyes, bad D linemen.
You think? I mean, sacks were a little bit down last year. Quarterback courage. Do you think though that seeing guys like Preston, Nico, and others coming in will free up you defensive tackles to get more done?
I believe it will because they have the speed on the outside, but at the same time they're still on the outside. And I still got to have that double team on the inside with guard and center.
Personality-wise, how are Quay and Nick just different from the rest of the group?
They both like to talk.
Right.
And like we can get them from talking a whole lot.
Does it bother the older guys? Because I mean, it almost seems like they'd want them to do something before they start talking. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it does bother us, but at this point, I just like they gonna talk. Let's get our work in. They gonna kill. They gonna jog. They gonna jog.
Well, Quay looks old though. He looks like he's 40.
Yeah, he has a old, real old look to him and mindset. Kind of old school, real old school.
Really? Yeah.
And, that's a big difference for me. I can learn better like that, Coach Turner.
Okay.
I like his method a lot better.
I know you got some other veterans on the inside like Caleb and Curtis, but you kind of see yourself as a guy to take the lead with the interior line. I mean, it was Cox a couple years ago, it was Boyd last year now.
Yeah, I think so. Caleb, he's moved around. He's played in, and now he's coming inside. I just tell Caleb, you can't panic. You're going to get a lot more double teams. You're going to have to play a lot more stronger because you got an extra guy always hanging over you. So it's like, I've been playing defensive line my whole life. So I'm comfortable with it. I know what to expect, what's coming. I just try to tell those guys, the main thing about playing inside, you just got to play, you got to be violent, strong, and fast. You got to come off the ball. You got to hit them first before the offensive line gets going. You just, just got to play violent. That's what it is.
You tell Caleb, welcome to the wars inside. You've been having it free and easy on the outside out there.
Yeah, I tried to tell him, I said, it's a different ball game in here, man. Just one step down, it's a whole nother ball game. But he knows, though. He's a tough guy. Him and Curtis are tough.
Can you possibly put into words how different personality-wise Quay and Nick are to the rest of the group?
Oh, man. Individuals, man. They just, I love those guys. They're unique, though.
They're different.
They are different. Nick and Quay, they express themselves different than most people do. So
we got Curtis saying, as a veteran, he would have liked for them to actually, do something before they start talking. Is that kind of the overall impression of the older guys? Just do something on the field before you start yapping.
Yeah, it's something like that. I try to be positive with those guys. I just be like, just listen to what coach is saying, not the tone.
Right.
Sometimes coach can raise his voice and they'll probably take it offensive. I was like, don't listen to the tone he's saying, just listen to what he's saying. That's the main thing.
Sort of like you're a guy who got a few snaps as a true freshman, just like they did too, and then it showed in your progress last year. You expect to see the same out of them this year?
Yeah, I do. It's just a progress. You got to want to learn. This game is rough. Everybody knows football is not for the weak-hearted. Every day it's a grind. You got to want to learn. You got to want to come to get better. It's got to be right here in your heart, man. It's got to be something you love to do.
I know you're happy about these days. You're enjoying yourself.
I don't know, something about football, it's just done something for me, just gave me a good life, something I've never really had, so, I just like being around football. I'm ready to get back in the stands.
I know most guys will redshirt, and that's a good thing for them. What was good for you about just getting on the field and getting thrown in as a freshman?
I learned real SEC football. There was a couple times, Alabama, LSU, my freshman year, I thought, there's no way that I could play with these guys, I went against some horses, man. I just got did wrong on TV, so I was like, dang, I was like, is it me? Do I suck? Or I was like, no, I got it. It's just because I'm young, I was playing at 270 pounds my first year, so, I put on another 30 pounds. I'm about 300 pounds right now. I go up and down, but, it's about getting with Coach Bayless, really. Coming from high school and then trying to play with grown men. A skilled kid could probably do that because what I'm saying. It's just a different thing. But playing inside, you you gotta be strong, man. I wasn't as strong as what I needed to be, so I was getting pushed and moved around.
On that same note, though, with you being over 300 now, do you look at Chris Jones and go, you sure you don't want to drop a few lbs? Like, can you play at 300 the way you are right now?
That's funny because we actually joke with him, like, you know what, you're gonna be a 3 technique in the future. You know, he's like, no, I'm gonna play defensive end. And I was like, man, you weigh more than the inside guy. He weighs more than me and Caleb. But he is pretty tall though. But I say he does eat a lot. He's a big boy.
You talked about the weight there. I mean, and the size. Can you see a rotation developing? Say yourself and Caleb even though you're both 293, right? You're still quicker guys, more technique guys.
Yeah.
Then you got the big monsters, Curtis and Quay. And
those guys. I mean, it just depends on what coach wants to do. I mean, you know, I feel like I can do it all if he wants me to. I can play strong and I can pass rush if you need me to. But yeah, those guys definitely. I know what you mean by that.
Do you see Chris? I mean, like you said, I mean, he's so huge, but getting that moment where you're like, man, these are grown men. And Coach Turner was kind of talking about that, like, he's still kind of in high school mode now, and he's got to get to that college mode. You don't really know until you experience it.
Yeah, I just try to tell Chris, you know, I mean, it's just a different world for him. You know, I can see the plays, everything just kind of goes too fast for him. I try to tell Chris, I mean, you'll get the plays, you know what I'm saying? He's playing slow right now because, you know, the play call is like it's just a different speed at this level. I just tell him stay positive, keep his head up, you know, he'll get it one day. He's a great athlete. He's going to be something special.
I'm curious, PJ, what's this football meant to you on a personal level over the years, especially here?
What has football meant to me? Let me see. It's just something that nothing else in the world can give you. I mean, football is just something special. You know, the bond that you have with your brothers and just, you know, the grind, you know, 2-a-days, you know, going through all those summer workouts in 110-degree heat, all that running, training, you know, just for 12 opportunities, you know. And then, you know, for you to go through all that pain, all that hurt, you know, and just to come together, you know, for just very few opportunities. You know, it's something special, you know, in front of all those fans. Yeah. It's just a great game.
And how's that kind of, just what you've gone through on the football field, kind of translate over into the other parts of your life?
Yeah, football, you know, it helps me with discipline. You know, I'm still working on, you know, life away from football. I haven't had the best, you know, life away from football, but everybody knows that. But, you know, it's given me something, you know, that I've never had, you know, family, you know, we're real family here in Mississippi State, you know, something I really never kind of had growing up.
Right.
So, you know, I just embrace it, you know, I just try to come with a positive mindset every day, you know, like, you know, where would I be without this sport? You know, that's how I got to look at it, you know, for real, on a real note.
It's a pretty interesting family, too. It's a wide range of characters.
Oh, man, we got so many characters. My favorite two, Quay and Nick, man. They make me laugh so much, man. Sometimes when I shouldn't be laughing in the meeting room, I'm like, Coach, did you really just say that, Coach? He's like, I don't know, PJ, but yeah, they some characters.
Who's the calm, cool guy that nobody can rattle?
Ryan Brown. Gotta be Ryan Brown. I've never seen him mad or nothing. He just comes to work every day. He's just cool, calm. Let's go, boys. You know, that Louisiana swag to him. I love him, man. He gets me going. That's my boy right there.
Where do you fall on that emotional scale? Somewhere in between?
In between, you know, so, I don't know. It just depends. More times than not, I'm pretty turned up. But, you know, sometimes it can get to you. But I just try to stay positive most of the time.
Yeah, so you're the calm, cool, collected one according to PJ. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I hear. I just stay. I don't get into much. I just stay there to work. So.
Okay. How do you think that serves you well in the football field? And you got on the field some last year, and you know, just had to, I guess, pay your dues a little bit.
Right. I kind of kept that in mind that I'm young. So once you're young, you really don't know too much. So I just try to absorb everything around me. So. Yeah. That's pretty much what I do.
I hope you take this the right way, but do you look at Chris Jones and go and kind of think to yourself, do we really play the same position based on body type?
Nah, he's a big kid. He's a big kid, but he's also a natural freak. So he does a lot of things good, and some things he does real fast. So.
When you look at the sack numbers from last year, I mean, how do you guys boost those this year?
Coach Turner kind of helped us a lot in that area this year because he kind of made drills and put them down to basic drills and continue to just work on them every day. That's what we need to improve on. So he helped us a lot in that.
How have you gotten comfortable with Coach Turner? I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, the volume's down a little bit, the language is a little different, but the concepts are still the same.
Yeah, concepts always be the same. I mean, D-line is D-line everywhere. So compared to my other coaches I had, he's more cool, collected. He's easy to talk to, so if you want to talk to him, so he's a real good coach, and he's more of a teacher than a yeller. So.
Jeff Collins said he really liked what he saw from you late in the season, in particular the bowl game. Did something start clicking for you at that point?
Well, I started getting comfortable and basically just try to make plays. That's all I had, because I knew all the defenses and I knew where I needed to go, and I just got comfortable. So that's when my playmaking ability kicked in. So.
Right. And, you look kind of like a small forward, maybe.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
You get confused with a receiver or tight end?
All the time. Yeah. All the time. I always walk in the restaurant like, you must play basketball. Nah, I play football. So.
But you feel like you still got the strength required. I know you got speed and everything just to play your position well.
Yes. I developed that this year with Bayless, and we got together, and he showed me my weaknesses, and I made them into my strengths in this offseason. So.
How do you feel about the defensive end rotation? Y'all can go pretty deep there, it looks like. And
yeah, we have a lot of talent and compete every day, and we're really talented. So.
Who stood out in your mind? I mean, when I say that, like, who's popped out in practice, who comes to mind first?
I want to say Ultra. Danico Ultra. He always give 100% every day, and you see it in his work ethic and on and off the field. So.
I want to ask you about PJ. Just he's really grown into this kind of a older leadership role.
Right, they came fast.
Yeah. I mean, what's he meant to you in your development?
He's actually shown me he showed me the ropes. Actually, when I first got here, he was telling me just don't do anything stupid. Just stay calm. You're doing the right thing. Just stay focused on what you need to do, and everything's gonna work out. And it did. So.
Coach Turner said that he recruited a lot of y'all. So he kind of had a previous relationship with y'all. Obviously, it's different when you're playing for him and coaching, but how did that kind of help that relationship, him coming in and coaching y'all? Already know him?
Yeah, I already knew him, so I already kind of knew what he was about, so I just bought into him and listened to him and took coaching.
How different is he? He seems like he stresses a lot of techniques, hand movements, hand placement, stuff like that.
Yeah, he's a lot different. He stresses a lot of things, so.
How do you feel, just Danico, this is, like David was telling us, this is your last go-around. This is your year to make something big happen. How much do you think about that and just what you can do to kind of help this defense and the pass rush in particular?
I think about it a little bit, but I try not to let it get in the way. I know what I got to do, and that's what pushes me.
And he said you're getting better at run defense. Where have you seen improvement at there?
Just setting the point, setting the edge.
Yeah.
Not letting them get outside of me, getting off blocks, making tackles, making plays.
We noticed it a lot during fall practice when you would come off the fields. Chris Jones was pretty much your shadow and always asking you questions. And how has that continued? I'm sure it has, but how much is he in your ear just trying to learn from you?
He's in there a lot, though. He's trying to learn. He don't know it. He's a young kid, but I see that he want to be helped and he's trying to learn.
When you look at him, what do you see?
Great guy.
Just his physical tools, how impressive are they?
Oh, they're incredible, man. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
Try to put into words how different personality-wise Quay and Nick are to the rest of the group.
They're all right, They know how to get us going.
It seemed like options were kind of limited last year at the defensive end as far as depth-wise, and now y'all got 4 or 5 guys rotating in there. Just from a competitive standpoint, how has that increased the play?
Preston Smith, he's the one to keep everything competitive, so that's great, and he keeps us going too.
Yeah, I noticed early in practice you and Preston would kind of compete at every little thing.
Oh yeah, every little thing.
Why so, and how does that help?
He's a little trash talker. He try to keeps me up, and I keep him up.
Yeah.
He compete on everything: sprints, pass rush, sacks, tackles, everything. We just compete.
Who's the leader?
In sacks.
And I guess the friendly competition.
Preston got an upper hand.
Have you had to learn how to do things with your other hand so far?
No, I've been kind of even-handed a little bit. So.
Does it? How much does it affect you at all, or if any? Or?
No, it doesn't affect me. It's just I got a club now. So.
Just watch some Patrick Willis tape and do what he did.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
How do you guys improve that sack number from 19?
We just been working on get-offs and hand movement, just working on getting better at rushing the passer.
Is there a number in your guys' mind that maybe you want to get to? Like it was 19 last year. Is it like 20, 30?
All of them.
Thank you, D'Amico.
It was some chicken, some, lasagna, some rice, and some mashed potatoes.
Well, what's it like to make the transition now? You've done this before. Y'all got off the farm. Now you're back in regular practice routine.
I mean, it feels good. We don't have to go that far to practice. We right here, so we just walk out there and come back in. There's not no long, cold drive after letting that sweat sit in.
Talk about when you drive back from practice, having to sit there with your coach. Is everybody talking, or if it's a bad practice, do you dare say anything?
There's some people who, try to keep some laughter going on, trying, ease the tension and stuff. Some people, they just might be quiet. Some people might try and catch a little nap on the way.
How much progress have you seen since maybe day one of camp until now?
Of course, it starts off slow. Everybody transitions back from no pass to pass. Him from being in intense heat with something on to it's starting to pick up a lot more. Everybody getting used to it.
But the younger guys, I know sometimes the farm can be a struggle for them. But have you seen them kind of handle things?
Yeah, they handle it pretty tough. They adjusted to it real well. It's different. It was different when I was a freshman.
Sure.
Now they adjust to everything real well.
I got you.
It's not like
Is it safe to say that two of those young guys that would talk on the ride home would be Quay and Nick? Is that a good bet?
Oh yes. They always keep it going. They some characters. They're some characters.
Can you put into words how different they are personality-wise than the rest of the bunch in your position?
I don't know. It depends on how they feel really coming out to practice and leaving practice, how they feel at practice. Are they feeling good? That you gonna hear their mouth joking around, a lot of laughter and goofy, this going on.
You say younger guys. You're not exactly an old dog yourself right now.
Nah, I'm a young dog. I'm still a puppy.
What have you seen from Chris Jones so far that's impressed you?
He has great work ethic. He comes out there with a great attitude, trying to learn. He stays focused and he's trying to get better each and every day.
Coach Turner talked about how he's sometimes still in high school mode. How do you get him to full college mode?
Well, it's probably going to be a couple game reps. You got to get used to the game because practice it does a little bit, but the game experience really changes a lot.
You and PJ both played as freshmen, and have you seen him growth, and how has that paralleled your growth as a football player?
Well, we both, keep each other motivated, knowing that we came in and played together. We try and keep each other, motivated toward the game. We can't let this happen like it did, our freshman year. We can't get thrown around and stuff like that. We both kind of grow into our own as we could progress during college.
You and D'Amico had some good years sack-wise, things like that. I know sacks get overstated sometimes, but still, 19 for a team. Y'all probably want to create more hurries in sacks this year.
Oh, yeah, we competing for sacks this year. We're both trying to keep each other motivated, trying to put pressure on the quarterback, get a sack, who can get there first, and stuff like that.
Does he ever sit there and say, wait, I'm a senior, you've got plenty of time, let me get the sacks?
No, we don't think like that. We just think about competing, making each other better each and every rep.
Hey, David, I think was saying that he's trying to make sure the guys have the mentality when it comes to that. It's not just, I need to get sacks. It's just the unit as a whole. Got to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, everybody kind of got to sacrifice. Sometimes we might have to go inside and, force the quarterback out and the tackles wrap out and get the quarterback. We all work for each other. We work with each other to try and help each other.
You showed that you can put pressure on the quarterback, but how are you coming along in the run game?
Oh, I picked it up a lot, in the run game. I'm getting more stout in there.
What did you have to really work on as far as that goes?
Really technique-wise, because it's not just run off the ball. Sometimes reading and reacting, and seeing everything play out, and playing it the best way you can.
How hard is it to do what you do and sort of be patient, and say, I can't just go tearing off the quarterback. I got to see how this play develops. The tight end's coming, or here comes a tackle. I've got to handle these guys.
It's starting to get easier. It started out pretty hard. Usually just run off the ball and then react and trying to see if something happened. But now it's like you got to make sure you don't, you got 10 other guys on the field with you, depending on you not to do the wrong thing.
Well, you're learning to pick up cues and things about what the offenses are doing better?
Yeah, just learning to watch the ball and the man in front of me. Make sure I don't jump outside and cause us any yards we might need.
Yeah, that probably doesn't make you popular going back to the huddle.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting cussed out or something. I'm hearing from somebody.
How comfortable have you gotten with Coach Turner? It's a different transition when you get a new position coach.
Yeah, Coach Turner, he's a pretty nice guy. His coaching is different from what we used to, but it's like calmer. And, he goes over stuff really in detail. So it's kind of like I really like that because, it helps us, know what we need to work on each and every day.
As a younger guy, I've heard this a lot, but do you feel like you're being taught more than you're being yelled at? Is that kind of more?
I think it's kind of a balance. Which probably is kind of a balance.
He can yell when he wants to.
Right. Yeah.
So, he's been described as old school. What does old school as a coach mean to you?
Old school, because I don't know, they teach technique, then they yell at you when you mess it up.
Instead of the other way around.
Yeah, instead of the other way around.
Cool.